Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. I know we did. We had a chance to go down to see my dad, and what a blessing that was. But now that Christmas is over, we're all kind of asking the same thing. We're asking, what do we do now to make 21 better than 20? And I understand that we have all the different things that have happened in 20, but what can I do that I can control to make my life better? In other words, how can I come closer to Christ? How can I have more of Christ working in my family and in my future? And I think about Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22 and following. It says, "You are taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires." And I love what it says there when it says to put it off. You know, a lot of times we think that we have to pray everything away, and we should be praying. We should be seeking God with everything in us. But there's also a place that we have to just put things off. In other words, we have to take the initiative to get rid of those things ourselves. And then he goes on, he says, to be made new in the attitude of your minds. So much starts with our attitude. So much starts with the way we approach life. And yet we so often miss that aspect. We think it's everything around us, but how we view life and how we take life on one day at a time really does matter. And then in verse 24 he says, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. So he says, put off the old self. In other words, the things that are pulling you down, you take the initiative to get rid of them. Realize that this is an attitude issue, and as you do that, then you take on the right attitude, put the right things in place. And obviously we need God to help us with this, but what I love here is that Paul gives us the reminder that while God has his part and the major part of it, we also have a part of it. And my prayer for all of us is that in 21 that we will take initiative for our own spiritual lives and say, I choose to follow Christ in a greater way in 21. I choose to end off 21 closer to the Lord than I am in 20. And I think if we do that, we're going to find that 21 is going to be a fantastic year. Thanks so much for your time. Make sure that you do look at the newsletter, look at all the announcements, everything there. There's a lot of things coming up. We would love to have you be a part of anything you can. Other than that, God bless you and look forward to seeing you soon.